Yo, what's up guys, welcome back to another video. This is a reaction to, I guess, more to do with the Baltimore bridge collapse. I know there's a lot of updates, call it, constantly happening. From what I've seen, the shipping container, the ship lost power, I think. I've seen a lot of conspiracies. I mean, I'm not going to get into that stuff, to be honest, because I don't even fully know what's happened even yet. But I've seen a lot of conspiracies, a lot of stuff relating to stuff like who was involved and all that. But from what I've seen, the ship lost power, and I think it's 6 people that are presumed dead, which is obviously horrible. My thoughts go out to the families, because this is just a situation that no one would have expected, right? No one would have expected this sort of stuff to happen. Like, you go and I think they were all workers on the bridge at that point in time. They're just going to work. Maybe they're just trying to maintain the bridge or whatever they were doing. And then this happens, and it's just horrible. But shit, life is brutal, man. But we're gonna check this out and see some more updates, I guess, on what's happened. And that's pretty much it, because I guess I'm just trying to keep myself updated, because last things that I saw about it were the reaction that I done yesterday, and then the whole power stuff involving the ship. But there's probably a lot more details that I haven't seen, and maybe there's been some updates that I haven't seen either. But let's check this out.
Horror and heartbreak in Maryland after that massive cargo ship destroyed the city's largest bridge. 6 people are presumed dead as one of the nation's busiest ports, which handled $80 billion worth of cargo last year, is essentially shut down until further notice. ABC's Lindsay Davis is at the scene of the catastrophic collapse. Lindsay, what can you tell us?
Juju, it's difficult to tell right now, but what is just over my shoulder here is the harbor behind me, where the Key Bridge came down last night around 1:30 a.m. After receiving a desperate mayday call.
I still can't believe this. I still can't believe this stuff. This is honestly horrifying, bro. Within seconds, it's all just gone down. Like a matchstick bridge, and all these people hit, mate.
Desperate mayday call. Police closed off traffic just minutes before the collapse and warned people working on the bridge that the ship was careening toward it, but it was not enough time for some. Tonight, 6 workers who were filling potholes when the cargo ship hit are still missing. The Coast Guard now says the search and rescue efforts have been suspended. The Port of Baltimore is the 9th busiest in the country, now closed indefinitely as twisted debris and wreckage remain tangled both above and below the water. Juju.
Lindsay, thank you. It's hard to overstate just how enormous that ship is. It weighs 95,000 tons and is roughly as long as the Eiffel Tower is tall. Damn. There are many more questions than answers about how that mammoth ship lost control and caused the devastating collapse. This video captures the moment a typical night on the Baltimore harbor turns tragic.
Dispatch, the whole bridge just fell down. Start, whoever, everybody. The whole bridge just collapsed.
A huge stretch of the Francis Scott Key Bridge collapsing after a 95,000-ton cargo ship barreled into a supporting pillar at 1:30 in the morning Tuesday, just hours before the morning rush hour.
Be advised, the entire bridge, the entire Key Bridge is in the harbor. I advise to hold all traffic from coming to the bridge.
Vehicles, including this big rig, still crossing the bridge just moments before impact. As the massive ship collides, an entire...
Bro, you can literally see the ship in the background.
As the massive...
Oh my days.
Including this big rig still crossing the bridge just moments before impact. As the massive ship collides, an entire section of the bridge breaking apart, crumbling onto the bow of the freighter and into the frigid waters below.
Is there a crew working on the bridge right now?
The catastrophe setting off a desperate search and rescue effort for survivors, including a construction team repairing potholes overnight.
There are 8 individuals. 6 are being searched for right now. One is was taken to the hospital.
So 1 survived.
Maryland Governor Wes Moore declaring states of emergency.
To hear the words that the Key Bridge has collapsed, it's shocking. For every single one of us who are Marylanders, the words that the Key Bridge is gone, it still shakes us.
2 people were rescued. One admitted to Baltimore.
Look at this image, man. God damn, look at that. wild stuff. This is the sort of stuff you just can't imagine happening, honestly.
Baltimore Shock Trauma Center in critical condition. At least 6 more people remain unaccounted for, all believed to have worked for a company called Bronner Builders. All are believed to have perished. Tonight, the Coast Guard announcing the search efforts have been suspended.
That at this point, we do not believe that we're going to find any of these individuals still alive.
A heartbroken Jesus Campos works for Bronner and says he knows the victims.
Eso nos pegó muy duro.
That was really hard. We are colleagues from work and friends. The Danish shipping company, Maersk, who chartered the Dolly, saying to ABC News in a statement, "We are horrified by what has happened in Baltimore, and our thoughts are with all of those affected." So far, no injuries or casualties among the ship's crew have been reported.
It was about 1:20 in the morning. This ship was taking off on a 27-day journey to Colombo, Sri Lanka. It had about 4,000 containers on board.
According to the Department of Homeland Security, the Singaporean motor vessel Dolly lost propulsion as it was leaving the port at the Baltimore harbor.
A full loss of power and a full breakdown of the system means that the rudder's not responding, whether it's where they're trying to turn the ship with the ship's wheel, or if an emergency steering, that you just have no control of the vessel. So you really have very little to do at that time.
The ship seen in this video going completely dark, mere seconds before slamming into that pillar. Then thick black smoke begins billowing into the sky. The power turning off again and then back on.
Immediately, the crew puts out a Mayday call, alerts the Maryland Department of Transportation and those working at the bridge.
Within seconds of the alert, authorities dispatch police officers to close the bridge to all traffic.
I need one of you guys on the south side, one of you guys on the north side, hold all traffic on the Key Bridge. There's a ship approaching that just lost their steering. So until they get that under control, we got to stop all traffic.
The officers had only seconds to get the construction crew off that bridge before it collapsed.
Just make sure no one's on the bridge right now. There's a crew up there. You might want to notify whoever the foreman is, see if we can get them off the bridge temporarily.
God.
But it was too late.
Yo! What the What?
One witness capturing the catastrophe and posting it to social media.
The ship is massive. The ship hits an immovable object. The ship in this case is going to win, it just due to its mass and its size.
Approximately 0140 hours this morning, our 911 center dispatched a call to the Baltimore City Fire Department. As units were responding, they began to receive numerous calls indicating multiple people in the water.
As daylight broke, search and rescue teams combing through the extremely cold waters. Several agencies, including the FBI, led by the United States Coast Guard, looking for survivors via land, air, and sea. President Biden addressing the nation from the White House, pledging support.
We're going to send all the federal resources they need as we respond to this emergency. And I mean all the federal resources. And we're going to rebuild that port together.
This afternoon, Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg dispatched to the site of the collapse, appearing alongside Maryland officials.
This is no ordinary bridge. This is one of the cathedrals of American infrastructure. So the path to normalcy will not be easy. It will not be quick. It will not be inexpensive. But we will rebuild together.
With so many unanswered questions, NTSB Chair Jennifer Homendy says the search for answers will be painstaking.
It is a very cumbersome process. It's a very meticulous process where they have to dig through a lot of information.
So the National Transportation Safety Board, or the NTSB, will be the lead on this investigation. And they will be joined by others on the local and state level, but they will bring in a team of more than 20 people, and that will be everything from structural engineers, bridge engineers, ship experts, to try to figure out exactly what happened here.
ABC News has obtained records showing the Dolly, built in 2015, had at least 2 documented issues in the past. As recently as last June for propulsion and auxiliary machinery concerning gauges and thermometers. And in 2016, after it was involved in a previous crash in Belgium, inspectors issuing a deficiency for structural conditions concerning a damaged hull impairing seaworthiness. The ship continued sailing after the investigation concluded. Tonight, facing a prolonged port shutdown, the big 3 automakers diverting shipments to other ports as companies scramble to reroute cargo. All traffic from the Atlantic Ocean into the port of Baltimore now closed off.
That's going to be a loss of a lot of money, isn't it? But I mean, for me, I'm just thinking about the lost lives, man.
use every asset to make sure they find a sense of closure.
And of course,
Damn, that is something else, man. Those poor people, god damn. And then you see all like the stuff of like the person telling them to get off the bridge, but it's too late. So they must have all known what was happening, and it was just too late for them. Like fucking hell. That's just like, that is some like, not that's not even nightmarish. That's just something unimaginable. Like, there's horror movies that would be based off this sort of stuff, and it's actually happened. Man, this is horrifying. But yeah, I guess there's more stuff gonna come out still. I mean, all this stuff of like the sort of the timeline, in a sense, gives you an idea of what was happening at the time. Thank God they stopped the traffic, because God knows if there was traffic going at that time, it could have been hundreds of people. I mean, it was quite late, so maybe, I don't know how many people would have been driving across the bridge, but it could have been, if it was a different time of day, could have been hundreds of people, or it could have just been more people. But no, nevertheless, any loss of life in this situation is horrible, and it's obviously shocking to see. But that's more of this now. I assume most of you will have still been updated on this stuff anyway. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on this. What do you think about what's happening? How do they respond to this? And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. Until next time, peace.